Hey guys, Fresville, Comic Book University. Told you I'd be right back. So, Runaways, issue number 7. That's Refraction. I like that it's named after light, but whatever. Anyway, something that light does. So, when Chase's parents meet, they show when Chase's parents met, which was interesting. She studied a black hole and black holes, gravitational waves, and things like that. That's cool. It's a shame to think that she could have been the Higgs before what's his name, William Higgs. Anyway, she could have been Professor Higgs before Professor Higgs was. Imagine that. She was smart. To be in that kind of a class, she had to have been smart. As smart as Chase's dad, doesn't matter. It's the idea that she could have been a contender, so she gave up that dream to be with Dad. She didn't seem that interested in Victor when Chase was born. She didn't seem that into anything, just kind of laying there in her bathrobe. She didn't just have the kid, obviously, and just sitting there. Yeah, hey, so she didn't seem to want to be there. It's like she was never really happy. That's odd. It's freaky odd. Anyway, it's interesting that Chase's dad, Victor, went from loving Chase when he was born as like nothing else in the world matters to he doesn't show up for any of the games and whatnot. He's just not interested because it's like, dude, you're not doing great in school. I expect you to be a lot smarter than this. I expect you to be a facsimile of me. You're playing sports and all that stuff, and he's willing to like punch his son. Saying he hit him hard enough that he turned around and hit his head on the window. Like he really, wow, that was not easy to watch. And he's like, say it again. Say it again. His son's like, you don't care about anything, and you're just a big joke and all that. Trying to get everything out as quickly as he could. That's a brave kid, man. That's a brave kid. He knew he was gonna get hit. It was a matter of, can I get it all out before this guy goes and hits me? Nope, couldn't. But valiant effort, and he actually gets knocked out. Like, wow. Chris Tucker was standing over top of him. You got knocked the hell out. That's not cool. That's child abuse. That should never be done. Okay, moving on. So, Alex with his code breaking was pretty cool. I like that he's just so, passive aggressive with his parents, aggressively passive aggressive, if that's a thing. It's a thing now. He's trying to break the code. Meanwhile, Nico, the whole time, she's just like, listen, you're going to explain this stuff to me, and you're going to explain it to me now. And she keeps on saying this stuff, and then something else keeps on happening. And even at the end of this episode, the interaction we have between these two, he's like, I'm not going until everything is fixed. Saying there's like two more numbers, two more digits in this sequence, and then I'll finally have broken the password. Okay, meanwhile, we're going to talk about my mom's password. How did you know? And I don't care what happens, right? I don't care if God walks in here, you're going to still tell me what's going on. It's like, okay. She's like, no, right now. So he tells her. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. We skip to some other scene. And then it just completely disappears. Like, dude, come on. Come on, man. Friggin' A. So we skip to a different scene. The TV show ends, so we don't know why. The entire episode, this was literally like what I was hoping to find out. How did he know about the password? I think that what they're going to do, I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler. When my hand is up, that means that I'm giving a spoiler. When I put my hand down, that means the spoiler is over. Okay? And I don't know if it's a spoiler, it's just my fan theory. Okay? So here it goes. Hands up. Here comes a spoiler. Mute yourself. Alex becomes bad in the comic books. It turns out that he was always a villain. He was always a villain, always on his parents' side, all that stuff. And he just wanted, mom and dad especially, to know that I'm still on your side. So I think that he knows because he's in on it. Yeah, he's a smart kid and he's in on it. And he's always been, he's been finding out about this stuff, what was it, months before, like approximately 8 months before all this stuff that's actually going down now. That's what I think. So that's what I think. That's what I think. It's just my opinion. That's it. It's just what I think. So, anyway, Frank Dean is now a parlor healer because even though Jonah never gave this to, what was it, Victoria? Whatever her name is, Carolina's mama, her real mom. Her mom was never in question. It's the dad. Even though he gave those gloves to Carolina, gave them to Frank. He never gave them to Frank's wife. And that actually bothers her. And I can't blame her. I can't blame her. But he does it for a reason. He does it for a good reason. These gloves that actually heal people, even from the brink of death, and give them more time on Earth. That's kind of freaky, man. And I know that he just gave them to him so that he could mess with the program, so that he could wind up taking blame for what, because he's talking about, yeah, things are going fine for now, but it's all going to come falling down. He's circumventing Carolina's mama, and he's causing problems. And yeah, I personally, I'm all in. I'm all in. I know that he gave this to Frank because Frank is too much of a zealot, not for the religion, but for himself, for his own ego. He's an actor, you know what I'm saying? Nothing disrespectful towards actors. I'm just simply saying you have to have a big ego. You have to think a lot of yourself in order to get in front of a camera like me. Oh my God, I'm a narcissist and I didn't even realize it. Anyway, at least you know what? I was brilliant enough to realize that I'm a narcissist. Oh God, there it goes again. Okay, seriously. You have to have some kind of a narcissism, some kind of a strong belief in yourself in order to get in front of a camera, you know what I'm saying, and do some kind of acting and things like that. And Frank is like the perfect face to go down. Like if he falls, it's not just a church scandal, it's a him scandal. It's not the church that was bad. Frank was bad. He's a charlatan. Look at all this stuff. So we'll see what happens there. The Jonah juice, and that's what I'm calling it. I literally just thought up the name right now. The Jonah juice. Whoa, this serum that's going on. Like what's his name? Where is it? I'm actually going to skip down and try and find that. The Yorks, at the Yorks house. Papa York tripping balls over that serum. He got just a little bit of it on the back of his hand, and he's just like, "Oh my God, I love you so much." He's like, "Oh, I'm kissing you. It's like a rainbow inside my mouth. Oh my God." It's like, okay, dude, calm thyself. And then of course the biggest crime, like pure sacrilege, heresy. I call. He's like, "Crocs are a gift from God." Just no, man. So that was great. I laughed out loud. You know what I'm saying? Wife is trying to sleep. Kids are sleeping. I laughed out loud. I don't even care if they wake up. That was funny. I'll rewind it. They should see that. That was cool. So, and then seeing him come down as hard as he came down. Wow. That's like the full trip right there. Molly spills the beans about having spilled the beans, which is interesting. So now she's actually got to be sent away for her own safety. I don't know what exactly is going to happen with this, but I have a feeling that the Wilders, Alex Wilder's parents, they have suggested that they send her away for her own protection so that she won't be in their protection anymore. So you got to remember the one part where who was it? Nico's dad goes up to the Yorks and says, "Yeah, it's a really shame what happened to Carolina, to Molly's parents. Died and all that stuff, and then you took her in and whatnot." It's like, oh yeah, it is really messed up, but we're just there because they were always friends. We were supposed to discuss it with each other if we're going to make a move on each other. We're never supposed to move on each other. It's like, yeah, I know. Wait, what are you suggesting? You think that we moved on? No, no. And it's like, yeah, I don't believe you. It's like, whoa, dude, look at this gunfight at the OK Corral. Doc Holliday, I'll be a Huckleberry. You got to watch Tombstone if you don't know what I'm talking about. Really good movie. So that was interesting. I think that because of that scenario, that scene that I just reminisced from what was that, episode 1, I believe. I believe that the Wilders are more than willing to say, okay, cool. So he moved her to this other family's house. Now we're going to go in there and kidnap her and find out exactly what she knows and possibly kill her. And good luck. Because she's not only super strong when her eyes glow and all that stuff until she has to sleep, she has to go Betty by time, but she's also bulletproof and a bunch of other things proof too. There's that. So, and now that Marvel owns Fox, they technically own, amongst other things, the term mutants again. Yay! They can say mutants, so they can be like, oh, she's a mutant! She's a mutant! Oh, man. I think that Quicksilver's going to come back and be like, I'm back! Well, how are you back? Because I'm a mutant! Oh, okay, cool. Calm down, man. That just opens up too many possibilities. Um, Leslie and Jonah. Frank finding out about that affair, like really realizing that, like, and she actually admits to it also, and that's kind of a shame. That's kind of a shame because I don't know what Frank's going to do about this now, and this might be like if anybody's likely to, any of the adults are more likely than not to die than anybody else, you got to figure it's Frank, which is why it's so weird what happens later in the show. Um, uh, the cycle of abuse. That's the last thing I really got. The cycle of abuse that Leslie, I think her name is, anyway, that that's happening in the for crying out loud, the in the Stein household. You know what I'm saying? Nico's dad finally gets up there and says, hey man, check it out. You're gonna leave now, right? We're gonna go and be together because I already told my wife I'm not going back. So hey, and Carolina Dean's mom is trying to, like, listen, the pride is all that matters. So you got to fake it until we make it. Okay, just put on the front, make the little facade, smoke and mirrors, nothing to see here until our plans are successful. He's like, man, leave me alone. They're all just like, leave me alone. But they're still afraid of her, which I think they should be, especially with Jonah back now. Anyway, so she's like, oh, well, he's back. So, like Chase's dad is Victor. He's back and he's cool now. So I'm going to do what I can to make my marriage work. That was interesting, especially since the whole thing with the Deanses, namely the dad. I love the Deanses, even though they're evil. You know what I'm saying? They've done some bad things. I really do love them. They're probably going to be dead. But he was tripping, and all of a sudden he came down. He's just like, I'm so miserable right now, and I hate everything. I'm never going to feel like that again. If that's what Chase's dad, Victor, is going through, I can't imagine what's going to be like when he comes down. Well, he did come down. He goes and he beats up the lacrosse coach and says, "You're going to make a public apology to my son and reinstate him on the team." Okay, it's like, dude, you pretty much, you're rich and you're a very famous, popular guy. Obviously, he's not going to call the freaking cops on you. Come on, you know what I'm saying? You're going to buy the cops, but you basically bought the school. You could say or do whatever you want. And he's just gonna be like, okay, if that's what you say, sure, because you have a lot of money and you're famous. And who are these other kids? Screw them. You're saying go beat them up again. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so he sees his son. He sees Chase working on the fistiguns. Now, mind you, just earlier in the show, he saw the future TV device was working, and he saw a future version of his son. Just had, the little goatee and all that stuff. But it looked good. He's like, I'm just trying to warn you the best I can, whatever. Don't pick up the fistiguns. That's all he says. Don't, well, he says a couple others, but he's basically saying, don't, I wish that things could have been different, just don't pick up the fistiguns. Well, he does. And he does in the sense that, at the end he comes walking in and Chase is working on the fistiguns and whatever. I guess that set him off. He's like, I thought we agreed that we're going to only work on this stuff together. He's like, well, I didn't realize that was going on. He's like really mad at him. And Chase is just like, I can't believe you. You're doing this again. You convinced me how many times now that you were changed, but you're not, are you? You know what I'm saying? I gave in. I'm such a sucker. But I'm done. I'm done with you now. And he gets up and he's getting ready to just leave. And his father goes to take a swing at him. But little man grown up, he ducks that punch. Bip! And of course he feels bad now. It's like, oh man, I just hit you, Dad. I'm sorry. But then he turns around. But he also realized, like, oh crap, I just punched my father right into the fistigons. So he turns around and on his left hand, he's got a fistigon on his hand. Oh no! So he goes and blasts his son. Oh man. It's a good thing he's in good shape. I'd probably take a blast and be like, blown apart, So, dude gets shot and he's laying there. Dad, please don't. And then what happens? I think that's pretty much it. So that's where the episode ended, right? No, that's right. Chase's mom goes and shoots him. Probably kills him too. Definitely shot him like right around the heart or under the heart, whatever. Lung punctured. This dude's dead. This cat is so dead. And even if he's not, he's going to wish he were. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be pain like you wouldn't believe. He's not going to recover from that anytime soon. Yes, a human being can survive without one of his or her lungs, but not in a comfortable, like, You guys all know what it's like when you're a little bit sick. You got that wheezing, and you just, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try, you can't seem to catch a full breath. Maybe you're a little bit dehydrated. You know what I'm saying? You can't seem to catch a full breath, and you know how tightening and constricting that is on your lungs. Imagine if you had only one lung, and forget about catching a full breath. You can literally, at best, catch a half a breath. Not cool, man. Not cool. I'm just saying that's not cool. So, dead or alive, this dude's screwed. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Maybe he should have heeded his future son's advice. Don't touch the Visagons. Anyway, an episode of Simpsons this is not. So he didn't predict the future very well. What's the use of having a device that predicts the future if you're not going to heed it? Anyway, communicate with the future. You know what I mean. This was a really good episode. That end, I was literally like, I'm just sitting there watching. I was like, yeah. I'm taking little notes here and there. They're all right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking notes. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I dropped the pen, hands up. Oh my God. I love it when a show can do that. Love it when a show can do that. So I think there are only 2 more episodes left of this show, which, damn it, man. But the last episode, I believe, is called Doomsday. And if you saw 2 episodes ago, no, it was last day, it was the previous episode, that image of the future, like some kind of a nuke wound up hitting New York, or not New York, LA, something to that effect, dystopian, really bad. So I'm digging it. I can't wait to see 2 more episodes. Got another one coming up pretty soon. I hope it's going to show the day after Christmas. It should show. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? I'm going to watch, are you? I'm done. All right, guys. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Thanks for watching. Class dismissed.